Okay, so life is just getting crazier by the minute. Things are just being exposed at an astronomical level to all the people who were conspiracy theorists back in like the early 2010s and even like the late 2000s. Shout out to y'all for just being so dedicated, because at this point there's nothing that's off the table that isn't true. And I think what's interesting for everybody within America is the fact that our individuality has to shine more than ever, and our independence has to shine more than ever. It's not about either side; it's about the side of humanity. And once everybody like genuinely forgets that because of how things are, structured, that's really when more of the bad things are just going to happen. Like, it's not to talk soft and sentimental. It's just to state the point. Like, what more is out there for us with everything that's happening right now? Like, everything that everybody thought was like not true and everybody thought was just, stupid rhetoric, or things that were just made to just drive fear and to just drive divide. Like, what was it all for? Like, money that we made up, possessions that we hold more true to us than even like our own skin. I think it's so problematic to be in a society run by people who quite frankly don't care about our interests, don't care about us, don't care about the things that people want to create for just the expression of it. Like, because there are people who still do that. There are people who still create without the feeling and need of any type of material possession or any type of tangible out of it. Like, they just created something that was tangible out of nothing, and that's the real creation behind it. I think that's what makes music so polarizing, and why I just don't think that AI is going to work the way that everybody thinks it's going to. It's not going to be suitable to not have soul within something that people are going to listen to. At that point, it makes the point even more obvious, but let's not talk about obvious sake. Let's talk about reality. The reality is that we're getting more poisoned, we're getting more seduced, we're getting more sedated, people are getting more lustful, people are getting more problematic, people are getting more destructive. And there's the highest form of love that's being outpoured despite this. And nobody's paying attention to that. Nobody's paying attention to the actual positive that's going on, because again, we're still so flooded by negative, and negative just sells more. I think that love is going to be that driving force moving forward, because people are kind of tired of how things are just formatted, things are structured. It's not for our interests, even for the people who are rich, like even for the people who are middle class, whatever class you are. It's not for us to prosper. It's not meant for us to necessarily be benefiting from a system like this. And that's why people are steering more towards creativity and more towards, that form of expression. Because realistically, when a robot takes everybody else's job, what else would everybody else have to do at that point but to lean into creativity, but to lean back into our default settings of just basic communication? So that's why I say love is going to go stronger more than ever, because communication seems to be at an all-time high despite this. Like, more people are starting to understand truth, and more people are starting to understand the real problems that we deal with. And it's not necessarily, us. Yeah, we do have to have a form of blame to it, but I think they're starting to see the big picture. It's more than just, our looks. It's more than just our appearance. It's humans as a whole that's starting to really have the necessary change that we could see. But people want to push that more. At this point, it could go either way. And I think that like, for the people who used to do the conspiracy theories and everything like that, like, again, this isn't anything new that we're going through. So we just got to stay firm, not be fearful of this because this is just gonna pass. Everybody knew the truth. We were just waiting for somebody to fucking say the shit. Because now the people that really can prosper, the people who don't want to have music created or tainted under the image of, you know, just blatant negativity and derogatoriness. It's, for me, I don't know if I would want to pursue music within that same category because I don't fit that image. Been to jail, done stupid shit, came back from it, pretty much at the ground floor again. But I don't want to represent myself amongst that light. And for being an artist, for being someone who you know, puts feelings out towards music, it's like finding my soul. It's like finding myself within this whole crazy ass world that we're in. And the individuality has to show. So my story has to show. And it's not because I care what people think. I just care about how I feel and want it to be represented the right way. You know, I like being, you know, intelligent for what it's worth. It's definitely funneled through a lot of pain that I grew up having, but you know, I just want to speak for myself when I couldn't back then. And I think that's the point that everybody else is also getting to as well. Like, just having the resilience to be able to share that truth of yours and to talk about certain things that most people wouldn't really want to understand or accept. I want to get to that point because gang shit, it's like, unless it's a real community, unless it's people who can accept the person that you appear to be and are now, it's hard to put it into words. That's why I would rather use music for it. And I have a joy of doing that more than a lot of other things in my life that I've done for a lot longer, which is crazy to think about because I still want to encapsulate that along with my music and have like a good balance where like it's going to be a little bit corny, but it's going to be the joy behind it. Because I'd rather not just, I can't help but to do like moody type of music because of what I grew up listening to. Like it was rap, but it was mainly on emo territory. It was mainly on dubstep territory. Like rap, again, was late into my life, but not too late to where I wouldn't come to terms with it and wouldn't actually like get, oh, okay, this is why it interested me way more than just, you know, rapping. It was like life being portrayed in each individual, and the truth was expressed through how energetic and how like real that was. And it sucks how certain people got to that point due to that industry, and that's why I don't necessarily want to be a part of the industry per se about it. I just love the music about it. Like, that's something that I care for, and I don't want to just go about as easily as others may want it to be. Like, music is very important. If anything, I would want to go, I keep telling people that I want to go back into analog because we're going to get so past the point of emulation that people are going to eventually forget what actual tape sounds like, what, you know, the least amount of actual, you know, actual digital can sound like, and why it maintained such a virality and such a punch to it. Like, it's easy to make songs fast. Genuinely think it is. It's not, that's not the difficult part, but to just makes something that lasts is something that I'm starting to notice, like, people wanting to get back into more. Like, it's not about the short run times. Like, people want to hear you out. If you're an artist, people want to hear you out fully. Like, get through it, you know? Because imagine these people are summarizing an experience, a time, a moment in their lives that has probably persisted on for years, and nobody really heard their side of that story. And we all have stories, whether true or even false, that eventually turn out to be true just off of necessity of it. Like, the fake it till you make it is just a manifestation point. It's like, if you commit to it enough, it's just going to be true, even if it wasn't true initially, like, just because of how much people talk about it. And, you know, due to that aspect, there's a reason why a lot of this shit is happening the way it is now, is because all that stuff that people thought were not true ended up just being very true, or being very open in the light. And now more than ever, I think people just got to be truthful with the light that they have, despite the fact that there are blemishes amongst it. We're not perfect. Got to accept that for what it is, and just get through life knowing that you can better it each and every time. It won't be perfect. Trust me, it won't. But that doesn't mean that people should give up and just forget that love exists in the first place. That's why, you know, the music that we do exists. That's why people create the way that they do. It's like, it's why people want to change the way that they do. It's because love is genuinely in the air, and it's something that people have to take hold of, come to terms to, especially as you get older. Like, and it's okay, because nobody was there to properly talk to people about this part, about the love of it, about it being so viral to you, being so real to you that you realistically would die if it didn't even exist, because it's like you don't exist. I think people need to just come out of their shell more often and just accept the fact that, you know, you're different. Though you have similar interests to everybody, it's not the same. The only same thing that we genuinely have about each other is that we're all human. Some people just accept that more than others. And I think that's kind of how I want to represent my music. Like, I like being quirky. I like being funny. I like just having the joy of the fact that I only got this one life to live, and people can't take that joy away from me. No matter what happens, no matter what I go through, what people try to put me amongst, what people might want to say, doesn't really matter. Because the joy of it is the fact that it's only one time that I get to deal with this. Like, throughout all of our lives, life is the only time that we get to deal with it until we're gone, and then, you know, people choose what side they want to be on. This isn't gonna define me, nor is it gonna define anybody else, because things can change. And the sooner that people just realize that we're all at the end of time constantly, no matter how far we move forward, you can never move back. And do people want to progress truly? Then you got to accept love more often, despite how cheesy and corny or the whole spiels, despite how any of it may feel to you. It's necessary, because that's how people push through. And nobody wants to say it, because that's just the loud elephant in the fucking room. Embrace that love, and then everything could just change from then on. Like, love is a positive. It should always be viewed as a positive, but people skew it the same way that they skew certain words that we now use in America. It's just inevitable. Like, that's human nature. You feel me? The second we find something that's like of keen interest, we can't help but to grab a hold of it, you know, because it might push into something big. It might be something greater than what people even thought. And music works that same way. It's like a lot of these people's thoughts and a lot of these people's ideals lead into a change of opinion, a change of direction. And if artists have the individuality and creativity to reach amongst their soul for their truth in order to possibly benefit other people, I think that's the direction that music should go under. And if people show more of the passion amongst it and less of the pain is going to be shown as beautiful because it applied the healing necessary to cause that good change. And good change is never bad. Never should be. Any person who makes you feel that way, I don't know. Tell them to go your dick at that point.